In teaching history, I thought, why not do a series of videos that diverge from how history is normally taught? Normally, when history is taught, it is taught as sequential, one thing after another. But when we look at programs like Connections, for instance, by Bird, that doesn't teach things sequentially. It teaches things as interlocked, like a web or a network. Certainly, we perceive history as happening sequentially. We think in terms of the present, and we remember the past, and we look towards the future. But it may be that when we examine history, a better way to look at history is according to a philosophy, that history is there to show us something or to reveal something. The ancients seem to think that history showed us what it meant to be human. It's true. And when we did a series of videos that looked at the nature of humanity, we would ask questions of why. Why did this happen? What is the purpose? Or what does this lead to? Or what does this reveal about human nature? To get at historical knowledge by thinking about the questions that emerge from the data that we have. So for instance, I was reading yesterday about our number system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why is it that the first three numbers, 1, 2, 3, are essentially Latin numbers? And why is it that the last 7 are essentially German numbers? 1, 2, 3 is very similar to uno, duo, tria. That the Latins, who would have said uno, duo, tria, that's very similar in how we pronounce the numbers, 1, 2, and 3. So like 1, uno, 2, duo, 3, tria. Notice that the movement in the mouth is the same. So the numbers 1, 2, and 3 are essentially Latin numbers. When we get into 4, the Latins said quattuor, but quattuor is not anywhere near 4. And for them, they would have had the numbers after that, quinque and hexima and septimus and hectare and nona and deca. Those are very dissimilar from what we say when we say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But when the Germans count, they count 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here the similarities there. 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, and 10, 10. They're very similar. So what we have, they're much more similar than the Latin numbers. So why would we have this combination of numbers in our number system, words in our number system? One thing that we could say is it goes back to an event that happened in 1066. In 1066, the dominant ruling group in England was Germanic. It was Anglo-Saxon, Germanic-speaking people. And they would have counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And when they were conquered in 1066, they were conquered by a group of people that had settled in northern France and had really admired what the Romans did, the culture of the Romans, and had adopted Roman ways and adopted Roman language and adopted Roman mannerisms. And those people, the Normans, then in 1066, they invaded into England and they conquered the Anglo-Saxon people in England for various and sundry reasons at the Battle of Hastings. And afterwards they went about seizing land and taking over provinces and making their rule the rule of England. They also suppressed the Anglo-Saxon language, and the Anglo-Saxon language became the language of slaves and of the lesser classes, whereas the ruling classes spoke a Latinate language, a form of Latin, Norman, which is early French language. So why then would the first 3 numbers be the Latinate numbers, the words for the numbers? And why would the last 7 be the German? Does it have something to do with this? Does it have something to do with the dominance of a ruling class which may not have had need to count above three, or may not have used the numbers above three very often, versus a Germanic class, the class of underlings, which would have used in trade and commerce those words far more than, say, the ruling class, which may not have dealt in trade and commerce. Don't know, but it does bring up the whole historical event of language embodying history. And whenever we look at language, it embodies a form of history. It's a similar thing to what happens in our days of the week, where we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday. Those days are predominantly Anglo-Saxon words. Tuesday is Tyr's Day, Wednesday is Wotan or Odin's Day, Thursday is Thor's Day, and Friday is Freya's Day. And then Saturday is Saturn, and Sunday is the sun, and Monday is the moon. So we have one Latinate day of the week, Saturday, and the rest of the days of the week are all of them Germanic days of the week. It seems to point to the idea that history is always with us, always around us, and the language we use now, and the mannerisms that we use now, and the culture that we enjoy now is itself deeply indebted to these events in history, which then set us where we are at our current